be the closest kind of to that style of gameplay, but for the most part, they've all just shown up ready to completely go at it with everybody else. And as I say that, you can actually see on Tanner's screen that Pterodactyls is already knocked.
Unfortunately, she's gone down. It's up to Tanner Slays to try and hold the position here. The nades are going to be up to the sky to try and finish off the kill, but does have a Devo in his hand, so he can do some damage up close and dangerous. He's also going to get those audio cues as well if someone tries to zip line up, and he will manage to get the res off. The question is, are there any players who are going to try and push? There's the Devo doing some damage, but there's Nox doing some damage as well. One of the best controller players, and I was talking about Zach Mazer and what an amazing player he is. Oh, this is Nox, and he's one of the players who was teaming with Zach Mazer for that LGS win very recently, and now back O'Shea trying to push in and gets the knock as well, unfortunately.
There's people
No way!
And it'll be the third party coming in, ruining the fun.
Is everyone done?
Oh my, we saw more melees coming out of Noct, and Shay would have been able to clutch it up for her team if Cauliflower Sweet and Nikki didn't show up right there at the end for the third party. I mean, they're not going to get a lot of points out of it because Sweet was only able to get the kill on Shay there at the end, but they now have all of that loot at their disposal so that they don't really have to worry about going to look for it too much, which means they can instantly start rotating, instantly start looking for other squads to kill, and hopefully get a few more points on the board.
In this house, we hate third parties, and I will tell you that for the rest of the time. It's the worst feeling in the world. You do so well to clutch up in a battle, you win the 1v1, and then before you know it, someone's tickled you under the armpit with one P20 bullet, and you fall down, and that's it. That's the end of your game. But such is life, right? You've got to get in those positions to be the third party. And as we always say in Apex Legends, the third party is the best party to be. But we'll jump over to another team now. 16 squads have left in this game. 4 squads already eliminated. And I think we're starting to get the answers to the question you were posing before this game. Is it going to be a little bit slower? Is it going to be a little bit quicker pace? I think the pace is picking up here. Teams are looking for fights to try and close that gap at the top of the leaderboards.
And I think it's important too at this point. I think we've seen that with this particular group of players, with this particular, game change for the Ring Fury purposes, it's just play faster. Play faster, be more aggressive. It's the only thing that's actually going to move you up in the leaderboard. Holding that end game position is not going to benefit you if the only people you have left to kill is the final squad. That's not enough points to actually do anything beneficial. So now we're actually able to jump back in with Calamity, Team Calamity, and see if they're able to kind of change their luck a little bit right now.
Well, you speak about changing luck. They've certainly changed their composition. No more Revenant, no more Octane. Rest in peace, the original composition. It is now Horizon, Gibraltar, and Bloodhound going to be making up the lineup here. A little bit more of a traditional composition. It didn't work out in the first few games. You've got to be able to change on the fly, and that's exactly what they're doing now. But still keeping up that aggression. You can see the vault shots from Nicewig are going to be good enough to take down Tiffa Jesse. And now you're going to see him moving in, looking to finish off that kill as well, finish off the knock. He should be able to do that pretty comfortably as well. That's some loot to go into his back pocket, and they should try and keep pushing here to make this 3v2 into 2 kills in their favor.
You can see the only thing that they don't have now at their disposal is the speed that they once had with their former composition. So it's just going to, we've got the Gibby. He's chugging along, trying to see if we can spot out where those players are rotating to. He does see tracers, though, and decides that they don't want to push it, knowing that there is potentially another squad in that direction. They played a little bit safer, which I was not ready for.
Yeah, just decided to restabilize a little bit here, and Timmy was doing a little bit of reconnaissance work for them, trying to see when that fight goes down. I think there is actually a fight going down. It's going to be Sweet who's involved in it, and they will win that fight. The question now is that Sweet's team, do they have enough time to get those heals, get those armor swaps off before that team does third party and try and take the advantage? There they come. That is Timmy's team now up on top of that central structure, where Sweet's team at the moment have had a lot of success, and you've got to think they've won 2 fights now. One was an easy third party, that one a straight 3v3. They're going to have a lot of loot to work with, so weaponry is going to be pretty comfortable for them. But both teams actually comfortable inside that next circle as well, and the beams are coming in from Sweet. Look at these shots with the Spitfire.
Those were so clean. It was able to crack the gold armor, and that, if he was able to get any sort of follow up from his teammates, that could be huge for them, especially against a team like Timmy. And I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but it's not just the squads that we're watching right now. The kill feed is lighting up with people going down. I mean, we're already down to, was it the 13 squad? We just started the game.
I just have no ammo.
Yeah, 7 squads already gone. Round 1, ring 1, not even finished. Yeah, it really has been carnage. The very definition of it. If you look in the dictionary, you will see a picture of Kings Canyon with game number 4 written underneath it. Timmy now taking to the skies. Unfortunately for him, he's going to have to wiggle and worm his way into the bubble that's been provided by Gibraltar of Nice Wig to try and stay alive. They're trying to just get out of the difficult spot they're in. That central structure might feel like a good place, but you have very little cover to work with when you are up there. And when there's multiple teams in the vicinity like you see at the moment, it's pretty difficult to hold that down. So smart decision to rotate away, set themselves up in a different position, try and get some shots down, and rethink their solutions.
This really is an entirely different team, though. When they had initially seen that Sweet was fighting someone in there, or Sweet's team, I mean, I assumed that Timmy and Wig and Calamity would try to push in on that as soon as the engagement had ended, and instead they once again stayed on the outside, backed off. Sweet cracked Timmy's armor. They backed off again. They rotated away. Sweet, Nikki, and Cauliflower are now chasing them down. It's like a totally different squad from the first 3 games.
Look at these shots coming in with the P20 with the hammer points from Albrelele, though, as we change over to the man who unfortunately didn't land the clip that he would have wanted in that final battle, but certainly entertained us on his way to, unfortunately, that second place that he found himself picking up. Raif's going to be wiggling and wobbling, though, and he can't hit those shots. It finally does take that player down, and that's going to be a clean wipe across the board here, as we do see back to the live gameplay now, and Albrelele getting that armor swap, and it looks like they came out on top in that fight. They're feeling pretty confident.
Not only do they come out on top, but I think they now have to fend off yet another squad trying to push in on them after that fight. I mean, I feel like at this point, Albrelele, after that ending, this team deserves the win for this next game, because that was a rough way to go down in second place.
It could have been a wonderful way to get first place, though, and that's the thing, isn't it? That's what I'm always looking at. It's like, if you don't go for it, then you're never going to get that moment. But Albrelele at the moment, one thing I would say about Bangalore is there's obviously been the changes recently to her ultimate ability, right? And the speed at which it comes down now is arguably better in holding off teams who are trying to push and be a third party than Gibraltar's defensive bombardment, because it feels like it comes down quicker, it hits the ground, it shoots from the ground up, so you don't have that kind of delay from the sky that you do with Gibraltar. So it's giving teams a little bit more of an option, and that's why you're starting to see maybe Albrelele experimenting with her a little bit more about what she can bring to the table as far as being not only an offensive legend for players, but also a defensive one as well.
That's a fair point, and I mean, I feel like we've seen Albrelele do a good job of using his utilities on Bangalore to his advantage, but I'd like to see maybe even more with her ult, like you were just saying, because there is a lot of potential there for them to even use it just to zone people away when they need it. They're in a really, really good spot right now. They do see another squad ahead of them, able to scan them and figure out exactly where they are. I feel like this might be good for them.
They've certainly got their backs clear at the moment. This is an important thing. They've got their backs clear. They've got the high ground. They're feeling pretty confident. It's looking like it will be a finish over here at Broken Relay, which is you can see some of the buildings below them, maybe taking in a little bit of capacitor as well between capacitor and Broken Relay. We'll have to see where that next circle does pop to confirm that. But we'll get a look at Love Abilities and Sweet Dreams now as they're making their rotations. It looks like at the moment Sweet's taking his time to go back towards Rig, and as one of the best IGLs in the game, he's very, very good at calling these end circles. So you're going to see him moving towards Rig. It looks like he's feeling that this is where this could be pulling, but luckily for them, they spy out the players that are ahead of them. Bloodhound scan will come in as well from Cauliflower to give them the information that they do require. And now they're going back to this position they found themselves in a little bit earlier to set up and make themselves feel a little bit comfortable.
Another squad.
No, it's a bad
Some
call.
good shots.
I am.
Both coming out of Sweet and his team able to get another knock that he can clean up.
Can you guys just stay in the
quickly on Fire Dragon? Yeah, that does say Fire Dragon. And I also saw in the kill feed while we were watching this push from a Sweet onto this squad that Lulu was going up against Team Latin Cat. I saw her take out Latin Cat, but I think they might have traded a few players on those teams. So that's going to be interesting to see how many points Latin Cat was able to get on the board before they, I don't know if they're fully taken out, but there were so many other engagements going on. Not a single one of these squads is making an attempt to really slow up with any of their aggression.
Yeah, this has been a really big game here for Cauliflower, Baby Nikki, and Sweet Dreams. So many kills on the board. Look at these shots coming in for the R301 as well, just melting shields, breaking and breaking hearts, unfortunately, for the team who are on the receiving end of it. But 10 squads remaining now. Even though we did have some carnage at the start of this game, things have slowed down a little bit as we get to that point now where there is a lot of playable area for teams. They're probably thinking about top 5, top 3, that kind of decision making. And there's less opportunities with the ring closing now to engage in third parties without the opportunity of someone else coming into third party your fight that is being taken. So you are going to see the game slow down a little bit now. And you asked to see the team in front of us right now, Latin Cat. They're pretty comfortable at the moment inside of that circle. They're currently down in swamps though, so they will have to make a rotation, but some nice shots from them. They're actually going to get that first knock as well as we the people with the R301 is going to do some damage.
At least they were able to recover. That looks like they're actually pretty well looted going up against another team that's probably just trying to make their rotation through here, honestly, to get into the zone. And unfortunately, we the people is not about to let that go down in any way, shape, or form. Gonna go ahead and find,
Got a gold bag.
Get the comfortable thirst onto that player on the ground, which is always a good thing to do. Make sure that player doesn't get away and doesn't get finished off by someone else. Get that kill point on the board is so vital to do, and they do that now as the other two players did manage to get away, which is always difficult to do when you find yourself in the 3v2 situation. And now you're going to see the other end of the area that team was trying to push through as TSM Imperial House says, hello reps, fellow teammate. Today we are enemies, and today I will be taking you down with the R301. They get the wipe on those final two players from that fight. They will take them down pretty comfortably, and that's going to be kill points going to them.
Fucking loot.
that was massive too, because if anything, that at least is going to put a little bit of a damper on maybe the momentum that we saw coming out of that team, as we saw that was in fact Team Eugen. So Dyrus and Reps and Eugen, I mean, that's at least good to kind of keep the playing field a little bit more even, but still the fact that it's on to Team Jowo is terrifying, because they've actually been doing a really good job when we were looking at the overall standings. They haven't had any insane performances, but they've been doing a good job of staying above that 9-point average, and because of that have managed to keep themselves in second place. So if they can keep this consistency going across the board, they're going to be potentially in a position to snag first place at the end of it all.
We can see there that we've got two teams that aren't made up of full complement of players at the moment. You've got Nicewig and Timmy, who are as a 2 at the moment, and unfortunately for Kine, he is the last player alive for his team. Fire Dragon and Covenant taken down during the battles that have gone down here in game number 4. But you're seeing the bottom left-hand side of your screen as well. Sight-Down seems to have someone in his sights.
All the way around, I think it's a capacitor.
Spitfire in his hands as well to try and land some shots if they do try and push down. But now you're going to see, like I mentioned, the game just slowing down a little bit. Teams trying to find safe fights to take if they do want to take fights. Otherwise, it's a case of playing for end zone, playing for position, and waiting for someone to make a mistake.
Horizon's that. Yo, there was a 14. They're not pushing.
Checking back in with Team Jake and Bake. We actually haven't gotten to see them at all so far this game, but I don't know how much action they've really managed to find themselves in. We don't see any. I don't see any kills on Jake right now, as he is taking some pop shots at one of the teams across from him who does have red armor, so at least something for him to pay attention to. But they look like they might have been hold up in here for a little bit.
Yeah, they're safe for the next zone though. The only issue with this building is you can see there's a lot of windows for teams to shoot through and for grenades to come through as well. And now you're going to see Albrelele try and move in on this position, as he's going to go for the stick in the corner to get the damage initially and gets the knocks. And now a 3v2 turns into a 2v2 here, and that is decimation coming in from Lovability as Albrelele and Fade. A perfect push onto the building. You're just seeing an example there of the hammer points P20. So devastating when you do get those shields broken.
Yeah, that was definitely unfortunate for Team Jake and Bake, and I almost feel like that's a perfect example of why it hasn't worked in this particular lobby to be inside and holding down a location. Every other team is just being so much more aggressive that I feel like it almost puts you at a disadvantage with such a small amount of space to move around.
I'm going.
I'm going to see another fight going down here. It's going to be Jowo, Imperial How, and Snipe Down trying to be aggressive once more and push onto this building. This team is trapped inside at the moment. They're going to be taking damage from the ring, and look at the perfect pincer movement coming in from the two players to get the easy kill onto Harris Hell. Unfortunately for him, that will be the end of his game at number 4. And now you're seeing Jowo as well, just taking some damage from behind. It's the Kain as well, who is the player who was the solo for his team, who manages to get a kill on the board. Doesn't get the finish though, so Snipe Down Imperial How got some work to do to get this player back up on their feet, to get back to a full 3. And it looks like Hal's going to go for the res. Snipe Down will be holding the angles, and that should be a pretty comfortable res here.
Heal right there, Joe.
Now it's about making those decisions to then continue to push up on any of the squads that might be around them. They, like you said, they're in a really, really good spot. They've got a lot of soft cover here that they can make sure they get their heals off before they have to do anything crazy. But unfortunately, Snipe Down does go down to We the People. Maybe that was just an unlucky angle. I don't know, but that's definitely going to put Team Joe at a disadvantage now with only 2 of their players up, and Joe is really, really low health-wise.
Yeah, they're going to have to leave Snipe Down as well, I think, unless Hal's thinking about going back for that banner. But you can see that Abralele is also picking up a kill onto Timmy as well. He has 4 kills to his name, so that's going to be big if they can work their way up that multiplier table. And what I mean by that is the placements, of course. The higher you go, the more multiplier you get on those kills and the more points you will get on the board. The top 5 now has been established. We're down to our final 5 teams. Abralele, maybe an opportunity to make up for what happened in that last game here towards this end game.
I don't know. Listen, I don't want to cast or curse them, but I feel good with their squad right now. I feel like they've... I know, but I had to say it because they've just been playing so smart this game, and they've been in a really good position the entire time. And I mean, obviously, like, Albreleli's cracked, and so I don't know. Like, I'm hoping that they get some of like the love that they deserve. We've seen crazy plays coming out of Love Abilities. We've seen crazy plays coming out of Fate. So all 3 of them are more than carrying their weight, and it would be very, very well deserved. But they're going to have quite a few more players to go through if they want to make that happen.
You can see them just scouting as well, trying to find their way into Rig at the moment, which is where you can see that circle is going to be pulling for Latin Cat, for Zach Mays and We the People. They've got a tough rotation to make as well, and they're going to be running into some trouble. The scan does come in. It's a full team, and 160 from Zach Mazer is going to make this a little bit more comfortable for them. It's going to force the bubble, unfortunately, from Latin Cat, which is going to give them the opportunity to heal, but might leave them open to different teams shooting from different angles. You can see they're having to rotate away now, and you can hear the calls coming in from Zach Mazer as well. This is where he's really stepped up as a player, as an individual. He's become an IGL for his team, something he didn't used to do.
Oh, you see those charge rifle shots coming in as well. There's so much going down right now for this squad as Zach completely just launches himself. He just completely went in. See whatever damage he could do. He is able to somehow escape after putting some damage in with both a throwable and his Spitfire. This is a ridiculous fight right now.
And the team that he was firing onto is the team we're watching now. The heat shield is going to go down. Abralele's trying to fight their way through, and this is 2 teams who are up near the top of our leaderboards at the moment. Abralele will fall by the looks of things. It's up to Fade. Zach Mazer once again with the Peacekeeper in hand. We've already seen him do some crazy things with this earlier on in our tournament, but the Peacekeeper now, can it do it once more? It looks like they've managed to pick up the kills. They've bled out on Fade as well. They have won this fight. They're feeling very, very comfortable now. More points on the board for them.
Oh my God, there are players above them that they have to worry about as well. I think that might be Sweet's team up there. No, this is Daltouche up there. We haven't even gotten a chance to check in with them yet. I can't believe that he was the one that's been sneaking around on top of that thing the entire time, because I saw some damage trying to come out in the middle of that fight, but they're in a really, really good position above a lot of the other squads that are on the low ground.
And you're going to see the team try to push up on them as well. The Horizon queue up to try and put them under pressure. There's going to be a Gibby ult going down as well. It's all kicking off towards the end game here as we're down to our final 4 teams now. They're going to be forced to move in a few moments as well. You can see maybe thinking about taking the roof just to the north of them and one of those buildings, as they all try desperately to get those shield cells back up so that they could fight in those final moments. But you can feel the tension in the lobby at the moment. Look at that. Jowo and Imperial Howl, even though they're a 2-man, have managed to get control of that top structure.
Ooh, this is actually really, really interesting, because I really thought that Sweet and Co would be the group that would end up getting that middle structure for the height advantage and be able to hold it down. They've actually rotated off of it and are sitting on the outside of it, kind of letting the other teams have to push their way towards the center and take those engagements and probably see if they can get any more third parties and get some more points on the board.
Well, you can see the Hail Mary jump pad there from Daltouche and Co, and it works out for them. They're very, very comfortable. I'm not pretty sure that team can't push from behind them as well. Unfortunately, they're getting beamed from so many different angles. As I say that, a little cheeky peek does come out from behind as it looks like that zone isn't completely holding them at bay. As Macro now taking an angle as well, so they do have pretty good control. But as I say that, Macro going to be the last player alive for his team. He's going to be taken down to 1 HP, and unfortunately the dream will not come true as he is eliminated. Down to a final 3 now.
Drop your shields.
And I believe that we've got Joe and Hal. We still have 3 up on team Cauliflower with Sweet and Nikki, and then I don't even know who the third squad is at this point.
Hal's giving up the high ground here. They call the Star Wars references that you want. He now goes back up to take it once more. The Horizon Q will go in, but unfortunately it's not enough. It will be taken down by Zach Mazer. Latin Cat are the people, and this could be another blockbuster performance from them in this game number 4. This could be enough to maybe win them a tournament, even with 2 games to go, if they can keep this kind of pace up. For now, it comes down to a shootout though. 2 teams left in the lobby. It's a 3v3. You can see it's Baby Nikki Sweet and Cauliflower versus Zach Mazer and Co.
Play like this truck corner on the boxes. You see that?
I cannot believe that they were still up after all those fights. They managed to avoid any unnecessary engagements and get themselves into a comfortable position here. They've got a little bit of height above Cauliflower Sweet and Nikki Sweet trying to get the damage in. He takes a lot to himself. Has to heal his shields back up. Both of these teams are relatively kitted out. This is going to be an intense final fight.
Well, there's only going to be a few moments left until the 2 teams are forced to fight. You can see that's Sweet. Baby Nikki and Cauliflower are playing underneath at the moment. The Arcstar is going to force them to split though, and that might give them the opportunity, the team above, to drop down, maybe look to pick one of them off. The Gibraltar bubble is going to be used as well. They do get the first knock as well, and it just seems like Zach Mazer and Peacekeeper are made for success here in TwitchRivals as We The People now moves in with the Mastiff as well. Only going to be 11. The 72 is going to certainly help the cause, and once again they win the game. A monstrous amount of kills. Glitter.